What's good, guys? Hey, Tammy. Mm. Hey, Deanna. Hey, D. Walsh. I'm glad you are home. My head looks a hot old mess, but it's all good. I've been outside in the yard today. Hey, Mika. Aw, hey. Yes, we are live. You let me get this figured out, and we will be good. I got the basics, so. Oh, new beginning. Thanks, D. Walsh. All right. So I'm going to give it just a minute. Hey. I'm going to give it just a minute. And good evening. Good evening. Let you guys get in here. Oh, my auntie's in here. Any update on the KJ court case? I haven't looked lately, but I will check it before I get off. If you remind me, please remind me, and I'll check it on my phone. Hey, let me figure out how to do this. Hey, Trey. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Any update on the Pinky Williams case? No. No. I did hear that Mike Tate got. I hated to hear that. I don't know the specifics yet, but I did hear that. Oh, I'm happy you can make it, Tracy. All right, so what I want. Oh, hey, sweet pea. I wanted to talk about a situation that D. Walsh told me about. It's coming out of Kearney, Missouri. And when I read it, I was like, come on with the jokes. It came out on June the 4th. Hey, R2B your 2. Thank you so much. Yeah, it came out via the Kansas City Star on June the 4th. And I couldn't believe it. No update on Antoine Whitley. None. I just checked yesterday. Not a word. That is the strangest thing I've ever seen. Strange case right there. But I'm still on it. So this case out of Kearney, Missouri, it actually started. No, I'm not from Chicago. I am. I'm from Kentucky. This case, Tiffaney Whitt, a single Black mother of 7 sons. She has 7 kids. She moved from Kansas City to Kearney, Missouri. Number 1, for a better school district. And number 2, for more room. She needed more room for her kids. So it didn't go over too good in town. They didn't like her and her 7 kids being in town. Oh, thank you so much. And they started getting death threats, maggots placed in their mailbox, and they were called racial slurs on the regular. And so she pulled her kids out of the school district. And she pulled them out after her 15-year-old son who was in junior high, was doing a class project, and somebody wrote the N word on his class project and called him the slur right to his face. Then, let me tell you what the article's title is. Take You Like They Did Emmett Till. Black teen threatened in his new Missouri town. So, in like fashion of Emmett Till, they accused him of touching a white girl's behind. Not whistling at her, but touching her. So the mama, Tiffaney Whitt, went down to the Kearney School District and she wanted to see the tape. And, oh, hi, Vanessa. So her and the assistant superintendent, Mr. Morrison, sat there and watched the tapes of the alleged incident where her son supposedly touched this white girl's butt. It was not on tape. It did not happen. What he was doing was pointing at the girl's back. Him and another student beside of him were pointing at her back. So that was bogus. And she ended up taking her kid out of the school district. Now, it says the school is investigating whether he violated the district's anti-harassment, discrimination, and retaliation policy. What he told his mom is he was trying to hug the girl because he was friends with her. But that's not even what it was. He was actually pointing at her back. And that's what the school administrators were tore up about. So after that little ordeal, threats followed. The investigation into the school incident continued. Then comes the message. An anonymous threat referenced Emmett Till, and one message directed to her son on May the 24th was so alarming that the Kearney Police Department opened an investigation that is still ongoing. Now I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to read it like it says. In you week. This is a Snapchat message. Touching whoever the girl was, redacted, her name was redacted. I'm going to pull up on you at your house and shoot you in. You weak as F. Bitch ass in. If I see you, I'm going to kill you for touching. Get it? It's a group of us who are going to pull up and take you like they did Emmett Till. Then they put two crying emojis. Two laughing crying emojis. District officials obviously mishandled the whole situation. It says students weren't immediately disciplined after her son was called the N-word 2 times. Suspensions were eventually handed out, or so they told the mother. She can't verify that. School officials didn't want to comment. And, hey, Sarah. School officials didn't want to comment because of an ongoing investigation. They weren't going to have anything good to say anyways. And it says that the video showed that the assault, what they were calling an assault, was unfounded. School administrators threatened an in-school suspension before the harassment investigation was complete, Tiffaney Whitt said. And she pulled her son from that school and filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights, as she should have done. In that complaint, she accused the school board of discrimination and retaliation and wants the district to develop a robust policy to weed out discriminatory behavior. The video clearly showed that her son was pointing at the young woman's back. She wrote a letter to Jeff Morrison, the assistant superintendent, and she said, in observing the footage, I did not see my son touch this girl's butt. There is one point in the footage where he walked around and points at the back of her shirt. You stated that that is when he touched her butt. You played it over and over, and I told you that he was pointing at something on the back of her shirt, and the other student does the same thing. He did not reply to the email, obviously. And another thing that she didn't like is they handed out punishments while the investigation was ongoing. So, in other words, we're not really investigating. We just want to hand out some punishments. The culture of the Kearney School District, Kearney County School District, it's bananas to me. So, as I was digging into this case, I came upon another situation just like this from 2019. And it blew my mind. So they didn't learn anything in 2018, and now it's repeating itself. So Kearney, Missouri must be a pretty rough place to be. But with the other situation, the father was white, the mother was black. So the two children were of mixed race. And the son was on the swim team, on numerous athletic teams for the school, the high school. Same with the daughter. She was the class president. She said, "Hey, John Q." Hey, Doug. She said that when she was getting an award for the class president, she went up to the podium. And as she went up to the podium to accept the whatever award for class president, two of the students stood up with their Confederate flag shirt and yelled the N-word, and no one did a thing. Not a teacher, not anything. She said she felt very awkward, and she eventually sat back down. Her name was Kyla. Her brother's name was Kyman, and even though he was on the swim team, even his teammates would call him the N-word on a regular basis. It blew my mind. They had multiple things. They said there were so many things that happened in that town that it was absolutely ridiculous. Kearney, Missouri must be a rough spot. So I don't know. They said that their family was so accepting that they couldn't believe that they were experiencing that kind of behavior out of anyone in their town. So they didn't learn anything. They've repeated it. And it's said that the town was, I think, 98.2% black, 98.2% white. Of all the teachers in the Kearney County School District, there were no black educators. Of the 3,400 and something odd students, there were like 304 black students. That's from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. So they had 300 roughly black students in the entire school district and no black educators. It's mind-boggling. But Tiffaney Whitt wanted them to have mandatory diversity and cultural sensitivity training. Now, back to this family. Said that the son, our oldest son, Jeremiah Parker, was called a racial slur at least 3 times in 1 year. He recently completed his first year at Kearney High School. Showed up for his first day on the job. His co-worker at a local fast food restaurant says to him, "Kearney is becoming an N-word loving town." Her other son, Parker, was called the N-word 3 times since they moved to Kearney last May. And he's heard it too many times to count at school. Said, "I've been called it so many times it doesn't bother me. But it should. No one should ever normalize being called the N-word or any other hateful slur." I feel so bad for these children. And when I looked up their mom, she seems to be a very classy lady. If I have the right person, and I've reached out to her, but I haven't gotten a response back yet. But I think she's a gospel singer, kind of building up to big time. She sounds amazing. But I can't imagine, number one, having 7 sons. I think I would rather drink muddy water. But to have 7 sons and be in that town, I would be on edge 24/7. So I definitely wanted to talk about that. And I got some kind of little slick comment there on my community post today about the Kanika Jenkins case. I think I have it right here. I'm going to read it. How do you feel? I have to chill. How do you feel about the Kanika Jenkins case with all the YouTubers being outed for being there or being involved? I noticed you went silent with the rest of them. What are your thoughts on it? Well, I don't really think you want my thoughts on it. I think you were trying to poke the bear. How do I feel about them being outed? As to my knowledge, no one's been outed and no one was there. I didn't go silent. I just moved on to other things because, you can only beat a dead horse for so long. I'm just saying. So I don't really think you wanted my thoughts on it. I think you wanted me to comment on the YouTubers being outed for being there or being involved. We've went over this so many times in the Kanika Jenkins community. And for the pot stirrers out there that are doing that, I think all of the genuine YouTubers that were really there and are really there to get justice for Kanika, we know better. And I don't really feel a need to comment on it past that. So I definitely want to address that. Now, as for the Kanika Jenkins case, I will look and see if there's anything going on in that case. But I really hated to hear about that situation going on in Kearney, Missouri. I went to do a video on it because there was a news station there that did a story on the one incident that happened. No, there has not been proven any YouTuber was there. They're just picking. There's no telling how many incidents of like that happen in Kearney, Missouri. And shocking because it's right on the outskirts of Kansas City, Missouri. So that really blew my mind. It's bananas. But I wanted to give that some light because it's just sitting in the dark. There's really only one story about it. And that kind of blew my mind because that needs to be out. A lot of people need to know about that. Let's see. Sorry, guys. All right. Let's just see. I haven't looked at it in a while. I admit that. Wow. Yeah, there is some activity. All right. So as far as the lawsuit that Miss Teresa Martin has filed, there has been a bit of activity. It happened on the 7th of June. She filed a motion. It doesn't say what kind of motion. It just says notice of motion filed. And it was filed by Miss Teresa Martin. And along with that motion, she had to type up a little piece of paper, or it's called a certificate of service. And it just says, I, Teresa Martin, certify and affirm that I'm mailing the copies of this motion, the copies of this notice of motion to all the parties involved. And that's all it says. So it doesn't say what kind of motion she filed. It just says notice of motion filed and motion filed. So I just hope that one day I know this is big dreams. I hope that I can get my hand on that case file. I'm going to continue to hold on to hope because I would love to get in that case file. People seem to think that it's going to be, oh, hi, New Beginning. Thank you so much. People seem to think that that is a stretch, but I would love to get my hands on that case file because there's a lot of information contained in there if they don't redact it all out. Even just the answers to the interrogatories, the questions that they were asked, I'd love to know the answers to them. Whether or not we will, I don't know. But if I could ever get my hands on it and knew that I could, I would drive there to get it. Legit, would drive there to get it. Would leave yesterday. That's how bad I want it. But nope, I'm not. Regardless, I wanted to go live. I have never done it. I've been asked a million times to do it. And once I figure this all out, I will be doing a lot more of these because I've just been kind of scared to put my feet in the water on it. But this was relatively easy. I would like to have screen share. I tried that tonight and it didn't work out so good for me. It shut my whole laptop down. So I'm not doing something right. But I'm going to get that together. I'm looking at the comments. Oh, thank you. Did you guys catch that story from earlier? I thought that was such a shame about the kid in Chicago. That was, his mom was literally moving, trying to move him out of, they were in Lawndale, trying to move him out of Lawndale to a suburb. And because he was having problems with someone in that area and he was shot. That's what I had. I tried StreamYard and that's what shut my whole daggone thing down. But I'm going to get it together. Definitely get it together. Yeah, he was shot while moving. Like, that was so sad. Literally in the process of moving, the U-Haul sitting right there, pulling stuff out of the house. And, hey, Vanette, how are you? In the process of moving, and in a matter of 30 minutes, her son was dead. Shot at 1:45, and they called him deceased at 2:15. Terrible, terrible. It's like they couldn't get out of there quick enough. I just feel terrible for that mother. I really was genuinely wondering, like, what did they do? Like, I mean, I know it wasn't a random attack. She had said he was having problems with people there, but did they see him moving and think, this is my chance to get him before they're gone completely? I don't know, but I thought it was terrible, terrible. I thought the article was terrible, terrible too. I think it was 6 times in the article that the woman said boy. And for those that don't know me, that's just a trigger for me. And I am going to email the lady and let her know just my opinion. That's inappropriate. There's better words you could use. You could use teenager. He was 14, young man. There's a lot of other things you could say. And I think she said it 6 times, even after she knew his name. So I thought that was pretty tacky. That's just a trigger for me personally. And I hate reading it because I just don't like it. But I'm so glad you guys are in here. I was like, I hope this works. Yeah, I tried StreamYard and then it shut the whole dang thing down. But I will confess that this is only like the second time I've used this laptop because I'm a phone person. I do everything on that phone. So it's not only a learning curve with going live, it's also a learning curve with trying to figure out how this works. And I have only cracked this thing open like a couple of times. So I got it in February and it just has been sitting here collecting dust. So, really, YouTube has been doing some very strange things lately. I noticed, for those that didn't get to see that, Samantha Keene had told me that several of my videos had the comments off. And I was like, whoa, hold up. I don't do that. I do not turn my comments off. I only did that one time on a very specific video of Kanika Jenkins. And that was very intentional. I did that on purpose. And I didn't do it any other time. So I went back and looked, and it was on videos regarding children. They had turned the comments off. But once I went back and turned them on, they didn't disappear. But I just don't understand their rhyme or reason behind that. I thought it was very strange. Yeah, very strange. Very strange. I was like, no, I don't turn my comments off. And I even got a comment from a lady, and she was like, if you turn your comments off, I can't be on this channel. And I'm like, yeah, I don't normally do that. So it's not my thing. But I'm loving this. I will definitely be going live a lot more. Yeah, it's all about that algorithm. I do want to publicly thank Marie722. She sends me a lot of very, very good articles that blow my mind. Obviously, Dee Walsh. She has been super, super helpful behind the scenes. And Samantha Keene, she's been great. Going through Sarah, she sent me some things. I appreciate all of the things that you guys send me. Marie722 is amazing. Amazing. She has sent me so many articles that I never would have seen before that deserve to be brought into the light. Oh, thank you, Mika. Thank you so much. Yeah, StreamYard, that's what I wanted to use. And I don't know if it just didn't. I hit something, and when I did, it froze everything up. So, but I'm going to get it together. I'm going to figure it out. Got to. I got to. Sarah has a H. I love that. Love it. Yeah, and it also unsubscribes a lot of people. I've been unsubscribed from several channels that I like. I'm like, wonder what happened to this channel, and then I'm like, I know I subscribed to that channel, and then I'll go there and it says subscribe again, and I'm like, I don't understand. I don't get it at all. Zoom. All right, I'm gonna get it together because I want to share screens and do all that good stuff. But I really wanted to talk about that Kearney situation because I hate hearing things like that. Oh, thank you. I hate hearing stories like that because I can't imagine people behaving in that way. Even to the Michaela Miller case in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, I'd never received so much hate. Never received so much hate until I got involved in that case. The minute I got involved in that case, I started getting these very hateful white supremacist emails. I was getting voice recordings of monkeys. They too thought I was black. They were calling me every name in the book. I was really shocked by that behavior from that town, that area. But whatever it was, about it. I was warned that the Boston area was a very racist area, and I never ever had thought that before. But yes, it is, and I was really shocked. And I want to thank Aaron for actually sending me that story about Michaela Miller when it first hit, because I was shocked. Um, but the people are so angry on Twitter; they're constantly on me, but they're angry because it talks about their little town. Oh, thank you. Talks about their little town, and that's what they're so angry about, they say. We all know that's not it, but they're going to put it on the credibility of their town. Um, so it reminds me a lot of Kearney, Missouri. When I heard that story, I was like, I can't imagine this mother with 7 children being in this town by herself, trying to protect her 7 children, and them getting called every name in the book at work, at school, at restaurants. No matter where they go, they're getting called this name. Then having maggots placed in their mailbox. It's just not right. And right is right and wrong is wrong. No matter what color you are, right is right and wrong is wrong. That is another case right there. Sharitha Morrison. Does anybody have a clue what went on in that case? I mean, am I the only person that's confused? She went missing. They found the car. Then it went to some of the family said she was found. Other parts of the family said she wasn't. Like I couldn't understand what happened there. Really threw me for a loop. So I don't know if she was ever found. Everything just sort of dropped off. That Facebook person that kind of does investigation work, she was trying to get one side of the family to understand that she was, hi, Jackie's concern. They were, I mean, some of them were saying she was found and some wasn't. And I was like, how is part of the family saying that this woman is found and the other half is not? So the other half of the family was like, okay, if she's found, produce her. We just want to see her. Very strange. Yeah, same. Some of these cases are just strange, very strange. Um, I saw that in my comments earlier. I don't know what happened with that. I really don't know. It's bananas. Like that one hotel in Florida getting evacuated because they found what? I forgot what it was. Hey, Iris Rose. Yes, she was found. Tracy, she was found. Apparently, she just needed a mental break. So she kind of ran off. And but she was found. Thank God. Thank God she was found. But that Chicago one threw me for a loop. I mean, really threw me for a loop because I was really on that one hard. And then, oh, thank you, Kelly Bennett. Yeah, the West kids. That's another strange one. Another strange one. The one Samuel Olson from Texas. That one was terrible, absolutely terrible. And I hope that they put that father's girlfriend up under the jail for what she did to that kid and packed him around in a box, packed him around in a storage bin. How could you do that? How could you do that? Sickening. Absolutely sickening. Um, oh, thank you. Oh, Matt, man. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I am. that case just blew my mind. One of my subscribers, I can never remember her name, but she told me to pay attention to people getting the vaccine. That was always her question whenever I did a story and it was about something that behavior of someone's that was so terrible that it was just unexplainable. She was like, did they get a vaccine? I was like, well, who cares? I was thinking, well, who cares? But no, I understand her correlation now. Like, does that have something to do with some of this behavior that we see? I don't know. We may never know in our lifetime whether that had something to do with this behavior now. Sadly, that's just true. We may never know the effects of any of this stuff, either having coronavirus or getting the vaccine or any of that. Our kids may not even know. That's how long it would take for them to figure it out. Sad, very sad. Hi, Linda Jackson. Good to see you. Yeah, it was specifically, we were talking about the mother in Connecticut who said she was so happy that she killed her kid with a baseball bat. And I was like, wow, I've never seen a story like this. And she was like, has she had the vaccine? Do you know if she's had the vaccine? I was like, I don't know. And she was like, I would be interested to know. So now I'm thinking, I would be interested to know too. I remember that sheriff on the West case coming up. Is he the one that was an actor or something like that? I didn't dig as much into the West case because I don't remember what I was doing at that time. It was something else. Yeah. I have not had it. I'm taking my advice from Tracy, who's a subscriber, and she's giving me really good advice on the vaccine. Now, my auntie that's on here, she's ready to take it, but I am following Tracy's advice because she's very knowledgeable with it. If you've ever drank one of these, it's terrible. I go on a hunt like twice a day for those things. Yes, guinea pigs. Oh, you took it, Sarah. My boo thing took it in there. It's the detective. See, I need to dig into that case a little more. I can't remember what other case was going on at that time, but I was all absorbed in it and then didn't really get into that. Mm-mm-mm. And then the case I covered yesterday regarding the valedictorian and the salutatorian. Hey, Sandra. Hey. I thought that was really a terrible, terrible situation. I mean, it's terrible because those kids had worked their butts off to be the valedictorian and salutatorian, and to have it ripped from them at the last minute. I thought that was terrible. I thought their mom kept her cool a lot better than I would, because I would have been very ugly behind that one. But yeah, you see all these signs on these businesses saying, "Oh, if you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask." I'm wearing my mask regardless, and I'll probably be the last one wearing it. Unfortunately, this is what it is. Yes, I still wear mine too. Yeah, I thought that was terrible about those kids. I can see it all transpiring. I've seen it many times before, but in situations like that, They don't speak around me anymore. They, being the good old boys club, they've learned to keep their mouth shut around me because I speaks up. But I can just about imagine that somebody said, hold up, this is not going to work. We got to come up with something to stop this. And they came up with this GPA, QPA BS, and even the way the conduct, the book reads, it's still not right. It's still saying the opposite of what they're doing. So I don't know. I hope she pushes it. I hope their parents push it. And, what's done is done. They can never get their graduation night back. But still, I hope that they do something so this doesn't happen again. I don't know. Oh, bless your heart. You've been in the hospital for 3 weeks. That's terrible. Prayers for you, Sarah. That is terrible. Yeah, hand sanitizer, and mask. Right. That's what my boyfriend was saying. He was like, he got both of the shots, and then he went to the emergency room in Kansas City, and they were like, "You've got COVID," and he's like, "No, it couldn't be." He was like, "Yeah, you got COVID." He was like, "How can you have COVID?" And he's like, "I thought that prevented it," and they were like, "No, it just lessens the symptoms." So I was like, "Wow!" Like, yes. That was one thing that Tracy did tell me. That was one of her suggestions was 10,000, what is it, mcg or whatever it is, of vitamin D daily. And I'm vitamin D deficient anyway. So I was like, I'm on that. I'm good with that. Yeah, why go through all the feeling bad and all that after the shot and arm hurting and all that, and you still can get it? Like, I don't understand maybe it's just me. I don't understand the whole thing. Very strange. I'm so glad you get out Monday. Bless your heart. Yeah, the flu shot. That's not for me either. I'm not about that life. I had a great uncle that took the flu shot and dropped dead. So no, I'm not about that life either. Now I'll take the pneumonia shot, but I won't take the flu shot. Yeah, it's just guinea pigging us. Yeah, these are some crazy, crazy times. And like they're trying to shut off all the help for people. And we're going to have a serious situation, is what we're going to have. You've got people who are still sick. People are still getting COVID. Like, it's not over. Yet they're letting everybody go without their masks and doing this and that. And they can eat inside now and all this bunch of stuff. And we still can contract COVID. Like, it's still out there. It's very scary. And they're wanting all the help to stop. Like in my town, I thought they were not allowed to shut off your utilities until like a certain date. No, that is not the case. They are shutting off utilities right and left here. We took a drive the other night just through town, and we could hear the generators running of people that had their power shut off and were using power gas generators and electric generators. And yeah, like it was real. So they're shutting off power where I'm at, just because these people can't pay their bills. And I lost my job in November. And I mean, I'm going to be okay, but still, there's a lot of people that aren't going to be okay that lost their job and can't pay their bills. And I've leaned on my auntie a lot. She's in this live right now, but it's the struggle is real right now. And I don't see how they can just shut stuff down. And right. And they don't think we need another stimulus. I'm telling you, we're going to have a bad situation on our hands. Get depression, weight gain, just all kinds of stuff going on behind this pandemic. It's been really tough. I just don't know how how they're going to, I don't know how they're going to get to another level with this. Auntie, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. The gun violence seems to have surged as well. People are tired of being cooped up in the house, can't go nowhere, and now they've come out guns blazing, literally. So, Miami, they just said in Miami, it's going to be a bloody summer. Um, if I lived in Miami and I had children, I would be scared to death to hear that. The police are telling you it's going to be a bloody summer. Like, your kids shouldn't even be outside. It's just, that's scary to me. Not only has that been a bad spot, Chicago has been a very bad spot. And someone actually came on one of my videos and said, "Why don't you cover Chicago?" Man, I do cover Chicago. I covered. That's all I did for a while. And finally, people were like, "We'd like to hear other things besides Chicago." So I started looking around at other places. But I did do Chicago. I did it for a very long time. Um, but it's, where it sort of was situated in Chicago, now it's just spreading out. So it's just, yes, it is like forever purge. Like, it is just, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes. Yes. The children are going to be behind. No child left behind. No, not the case no more. Yes. And social, you have a kid that maybe an only child who was cooped up for a year with no human contact with other kids their age. It's going to be rough. Shootings have gone up 123%. That's crazy. Oh, thank you, Kelly Bennett. Shootings have went. I saw that, giving away guns for the COVID vaccine. Give me a freaking break. Yes, people. Spring break was bananas. All those people down there acting a fool down there, and no mask, and people from everywhere flocked there and then went back to their places. Like, no, that is not a good idea. Mm-hmm. Gonna look like ghost towns. Yes. Scary. Yes, and it is going to get worse before it gets better. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. It's very scary. Yes, they're giving away guns for vaccines. How bananas is that? I was like, what in the world? Toss him across the street. Yeah, these kids, man. The kids in my neighborhood, you can tell they haven't been anywhere. They are like running wild. Yes, giving away guns for the vaccine. Yes, entering you in the lottery. Sundown towns absolutely do still exist. You better believe it. You better believe it. It's scary. Very scary. We're living in a whole different time that it's just very scary. I took care of my grandparents, and I can't imagine them being here with me. They're gone now. Being here with me during COVID and having to deal with my grandfather who had Alzheimer's and my grandmother who was, just on a walker. But I can't imagine having to take care of them in a COVID situation. It would be scary. So I have much respect to those that did that. It's a scary situation. Yes, let's enter everybody in the lottery for taking the daggone vaccine. Gang violence is a whole nother ball of wax. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Yeah, gang violence ain't no joke. Yes, Mika. Absolutely. Gang violence is, when you have a teacher in North Carolina that's trying to rob the cartel in small town North Carolina, that's scary. That's very scary. I couldn't believe that story. I thought it was going to tell me that he had traveled to Mexico and maybe to teach abroad. I didn't realize the teacher was trying to steal dope and money from the cartel. Him and his brother in law. Like they had some master plan. They were going to go to this trailer and rob this cartel. And you are not going to do that. That's not going to work out good for you. That's just being 100. Like, what kind of cuckoo idea to go and try to rob the cartel, you and your brother-in-law? Yes, that happened in North Carolina. That's crazy. Uh, they made it in to the trailer, hogtied the guy that was in there, ended up shooting him, and then the cartel members who were close by came right on and ended up shooting. It was like a Wild Wild West shootout. The people in the trailer court said it was bananas. And the teacher was a head basketball coach at the school. It was like some private school. It was terrible, terrible. But he got shot, and his brother-in-law ended up, they pinned everything on him because he survived. That's terrible. Terrible. Thank you, Vanessa. 82 homicides. Mm, 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 mm. It's like I was watching something the other day and it said, talking about these gangs, it said that the young kids or the younger generation does not respect the structure of the gang. They don't respect the OGs. They're just wide open with it. And that causes a problem. Yes, idle mind is the devil's workshop. That causes a problem within the gang. And I'm not saying gangs are good by any means. Oh, thank you. Cheerio, what you said, it's getting out of control. But that, there's someone who can control the gangs, at least when you have an OG there who's been in the gang for a while. But then when you have these young kids coming in that are just like, who shot who? Let's shoot them and their whole family. Like, they don't care. So they don't follow any kind of code. Just like the guy that shot the child outside of Cabrini Green. And he came forward, and because he had accidentally shot the kid, that was in violation of the gang code. He came forward and admitted his crime. You will not see that with these young kids. So what if they shoot a kid? That's their attitude. Oh well, we're not going to come forward and tell anybody anything. But the OGs, because that violates the gang code, they're going to come forward and say, man, we shot a kid. That's our bad. I'm going to take my charge. And these young kids are ruthless, absolutely ruthless. They do not care. It's very sad, and it's very dangerous. It is very dangerous. They will pull right up and shoot you right in the face and have no remorse. They don't care. The girl that died shortly after graduating is a good example. Graduated. Couple of hours earlier with pictures. It's so creepy looking back on it, because it's just so sad to know that her fate was planned out and she wasn't going to live past a couple of hours. Went to go get some snacks before a graduation party and was caught either in the crossfire or targeted, one of the two. I think she was caught in the crossfire personally. And boom, dead. She was a successful business owner at 17 years old, had a business for 2 years. And then boom. Yes, sweet tea. Sure did. Yeah, just boom, she's gone. It's so sad to me. Very sad. I can't imagine how her family feels. Terrible. So now that I know what's going on here, I'm going to play with it a little bit and I'm going to get it together. I promise. I'd like to do, I don't know, I might take a poll and see once I get the screen share going. I'd like to do a poll and maybe see what you guys think about. Yes, makes me think of Kanika Jenkins. So sad. It is sad. Maybe see what you guys would prefer as far as lives. Like how many lives would you like to see a week? That type of thing. Because there are some stories that I don't feel like it gives it justice to do a video on it. I feel like it needs to be really discussed and like hashed out. And I think that's what bringing it to the light would look like for some of these cases. And that's what I would like to do. So I appreciate all of you guys for coming. And I'm going to figure this out. But I done made my mind up. Thank you so much. I done made my mind up that I wasn't going to do a 3-4 hour live. Right, DeWash? Not going to do it. The 6-year-old on the way to school riding in his car seat shot dead in the back. What in the world, man? That's crazy. The 10-year-old at the barbecue in New York, the family barbecue, shot. Like, what in the world? Like, what is going on? I just don't get it. Do not get it. Thank you, April. I feel much more comfortable getting this first one out the way. So, thank you, Deanna. Thank you so much. Yeah, what is happening with these kids today? It's just, ain't it so sad? Like, a whole generation is just going to be gone. It's so sad. But yeah, I'm going to try to get some kind of poll out. Yeah, punks hiding behind guns, what you said. I'm going to try to get a poll out to see what you guys would like to see and try to hit somewhere where everybody can, because some of these cases need to be discussed. A video just doesn't do it justice. And that's how I'd like to do it. Just like this case in Kearney, Missouri. That there's also a Kearney, Nebraska. And sadly, the man that did this story for the Kansas City Star, he attached a school policy about discrimination and racial intolerance and blah, blah, blah. But it was from Kearney, Nebraska. And I was like, did you not even read the policy? I went straight to the policy. I was reading. I was like, this says Nebraska. So I had to go look and see. I mean, it's crazy. But apparently Kearney, Nebraska is just as bad as Kearney, Missouri. I did find that out. It's crazy. What was the other case I wanted to talk about? The 10-year-old at the barbecue, the graduation. There's been a lot of graduation, I know because it's graduation time of year, but there's been a lot of cases regarding graduation that have been brought up. Yes, they are all wanting to be hard, and it just doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Yeah, it starts at home. It starts at home. Sad but true, it starts at home. And if these mamas are not going to parent these kids, and these daddies are not going to parent these kids, but then again, you have some kids who are being parented, and they still run out and cut up. And I don't understand that. It's like they're fighting or rebelling against their parents to cut up. So it's bananas. Yes, the grass cutting situation. What in the world? I was going to do a video on that too. I was like, this is bananas. And the guy that shot the 6-year-old over the bikes being on the sidewalk. 14-year-old strangled his mother 2 weeks ago. Send me that. What in the world? Hey, it's crazy. The man with the bikes, like, oh my goodness, shot at a graduation party. See what I mean? It's just nonstop. It's crazy to me. The kid with the bike, somebody actually commented on that video and said, for those that aren't familiar with it, there was a family that lived next door to a man. They had several kids. The kids left their bike on the... No, we did not talk about Bonnie and Clyde. We need to. The kids left their bike on the sidewalk. The man didn't like it, so he fired his gun and shot the 6-year-old in the arm, and the judge let him out on a $10,000 bond. But then the lawyers were like, what in the world? Let's get an emergency order and pull that. And yes. They pulled it, and then I think they put him on... One of the subscribers said that they put him on an ankle bracelet, I think an ankle monitor, and something else. So I think he's back home. I don't know, but he pulled a gun out. There was like 4 or 5 kids running, and he just shot. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Then they gave him a $10,000 bond. Like, come on with the jokes. What in the world? I'm going to have to turn my lights on, guys. I can't hardly... Bear with me. I didn't know I was going to be on live when it was darker. How's that? Yeah, the Bonnie and Clyde... Just too bright, but we'll work with it. Bonnie and Clyde. Yes. When someone sends a feel-good story, people comment the feel-good story not true. Right. We're so used to listening to all the bad stuff that we don't even believe the good stories anymore. It's sad. The woman discovering she was a princess at 28. How amazing is that? And that changed the whole course of her life now. So it's crazy. Yeah, I do want to bring up something in regards to the what's the case? The kid. Help me, D-Wash. The kid, Cash Gernon. I just couldn't get it on my... The Cash Gernon case, okay? We talk about that for just a minute. That's the case where let me get that together. A guy went into the home and took a twin out of a toddler bed. And they found him dead in the street. A jogger found him dead in the street a few hours later. Here's my problem with it. In the window, there is a light. And it flashes. D. Walsh hit me to it. I had to watch it a couple of times. And there was no rhyme or reason to the flashing of that light. But mind you, there was a sheer curtain over the window, okay? If it was a reflection of the camera inside the room, there was a sheer curtain over the window. And also you have, it's a baby monitor, okay? Not a surveillance camera. It's a baby monitor. And I don't know. It's so strange to me because I've watched it several times and there's just no kind of rhyme or I've watched that light blink and I don't understand why it's blinking when it's blinking, if that makes any sense. Like, if you have a light that's triggered by something, or it's so strange the way that light moves. I was trying to find it, but anywho, I thought that was strange. What was the other case I wanted to speak on? Yeah, the justice system is it's embarrassing. Oh, somebody was saying that it was okay, so if the baby monitor was an IR camera or infrared or whatever they call those, there wouldn't be any light. But the flashing part, what has me tore up about it is that there was a sheer curtain and it looks like the light is coming from the other side of the window. I mean, I don't know. I have to watch it again. And I've watched it like 20, 30 times. I have someone texting me and they can't seem to understand that I'm on live, even though I've explained it several times. Like, I don't get it. How many more times do I have to say that? Maybe it's just because I never go live. They don't understand. Regardless. So they found DNA on Darian. Yeah, he stayed there. That's the killing part about it. He stayed there. Yes, it does look like a Bluetooth light. It looks like, I don't know. It just looks, it looks like it's coming from the other side of the window. I don't know. Trying not to even think like that, but it still does. His mom, I feel bad for Darian's mom. Is that his name, Darian? I feel bad for his mom because, she's a victim in all this. She didn't do it, but she's, and that's her son. And of course she's going to speak up for her son and say something. But I didn't know that they had found DNA on his clothes. I need to check that out. It just, it feels like there's something missing in this case, and I can't quite put my finger on it. It definitely feels like there's something missing. The son Darian. Thank you. The son is who I was drawn more to. Cameron. I was more drawn to him. Yeah, I don't know. What happened in Pittsburgh last night, sweet tea? Look, I'm all nosy. Same, DeWalsh. She said that she took in, I guess, troubled kids, but if I heard that and I knew my son had stayed there in that residence at least for 10 months previous, he obviously didn't speak to his mom before he went to jail. And your son has mental problems. Yeah, he was friends with Cameron. My first response wouldn't be to stand him and say, my son didn't do it. I would be like, oh my goodness, what did he do? Did he do it? I would be questioning that. So I wouldn't just jump up and start saying stuff about my son. It's just a crazy situation. And then on the yeah, acted like they didn't know who he was or how he was connected to it. And what was he like? Am I the only person that saw him? Like, he kept messing with his ear and he stood there forever. Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding, Sweet Tea. I'm just like, I'm about to write that one down. When you go back to the these kid cases are so, it's like it's always a lie somewhere and you got to find it. You got to find it. Like with the Samuel Olsen case and the dad saying he talked to him on the 21st. How did you talk to him on the 21st when the roommate to the girlfriend said he was dead on the 10th? Like, it don't make any sense to me. So yeah, it's like crazy. Yeah, it's like he's got an earpiece in his ear or he's messing with his ear and he stood there forever. Like, who stands there forever? It's like he wasn't scared at all. And time wasn't of the essence to him. It was just a little strange. A little bit strange. Yes, too many babies being killed. Yeah, like, did he have an earpiece in there? Was it Bluetooth? Like, what was going on? Oh, thank you. Hey. Hey, Paula. Yeah, it was very strange. Oh, thanks, Michelle. All right, guys. Where am I? See, I said I wasn't going to do no long live. Yes, there is a lot of evil. A lot of evil. I mean, there was a lot of evil before, but it's like, I don't know, like 2020 just brought the evil right on out. It's crazy. I appreciate all of you guys for coming to my first live. Yes, Lucifer is in a panic. He didn't know what to do. Does not know what to do. Oh, you're from the UK. Bless your heart. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, guys, I'm going to end this live. But my next one will be better. I'm going to figure out how to screen share. We're going to get it together. And I'm going to see how you guys want to, if you want to do it, like however you want to do it, we'll do it. I'm down. Just, I'll do a poll or something. So be looking for that and we'll get it together. Oh, thank you for coming. I appreciate each one of you guys. I really, really do. And like, I feel like I have the best subscribers and like, I know all the names and all that stuff. Oh, you too, Tracy. Thanks, Michelle. You do the same. So we're going to keep doing what we do. Thank you, Michelle. Hugs right back. We're going to keep doing what we do, but we're going to do it better. We're going to keep doing it better and better and better. So I appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for coming. So nice to see you guys too here. Yeah, stay safe and be easy, everybody. Have a good night. Bye.